Okay, one last time I'm gonna try this. Um, so this is my personal narrative in the space between, based on actual events. And let's get reading. Removing the Warren key from the ignition and thereby silencing the soft rumbling and whirring of the mechanical beast which had borne me to this unique spot, I slowly blinked against the shining sun. Knowing I could not sit there forever, I exited my noble steed and sucked in the cool early spring air, as if searching for the resolve and self-control to complete the task set before me. Sighing quietly, releasing through that one breath all my doubts and displeasures, I strode forward, leaving my previous anxiety walking behind, carried away by a soothing breeze. Now purposely moving across the lush green grass, I soaked in the beauty of the scene spread before me. The warbling invisible wind washed over the budding trees, sighing and groaning, delivering the proclamation that winter's grip was slipping and that spring would soon bound forth to be born. Moving my gaze, I found my target, a bustling coffee shop, drenched with the aromas of spiced drinks, savory provender, and topped with the tinkling jubilation of laughter and small talk. After purchasing a savory libation, I situated my frame into a small corner and spread wide my work before me. At last I was standing on the precipice, waiting to dive into the silvery mist of my studies. Taking one last moment, I scanned the room, saturating myself in the buzz of conversation among faceless strangers, inhaling the scent of freshly baked sweet pastries and smoky potions brewed to perfection, and letting the vibrating roar of hundreds of coffee beans being ground asunder sink into my bones. With this last image imprinted upon my mind, I jumped off the edge of the physical sensual world and splashed into the mental and intellectual realm. After what seemed to the outside domain an eternity, but to me only a few moments in the land of fluid thoughts and ideas, I stirred from my position, venturing somewhat back into physical dominion. I sat there cogitating about the article I just read regarding Plato's Republic, and let a slight smile spread across my countenance. Happily savoring the information I had just sifted through, I suddenly mentally stepped back and wondered, wait, what is happening? Why am I enjoying this? I reflected how mostly throughout my informal and formal education, I'd always been excited to learn and understand something new. Why is that? Why am I excited to learn and understand new things when so many kids hate school and education? I knew as I twiddled my fingers that many kids would groan and hate going through the very same article I had just read and that I had just enjoyed so much. But why? Why do most of them hate it when I enjoy it? Immediately my subconscious brought me an answer. Well, I guess I'm just weird like that. But as I mulled it over, it became increasingly clear that individuality was a part of the equation. I guess part of it is differing personalities and interests, but that doesn't explain the problem all the way. Continuing in that line of thinking, I deliberated. It seems now that the culture almost expects kids to hate school and learning. But why do they expect kids to hate it? And does the fact that they expect kids to dislike school cause some kids who would have otherwise looked forward to learning to hate it, like a self-fulfilling prophecy? Speculating there silently, waiting for some answers to flood into my head, I swiveled my eyes downwards towards the wooden table. The golden surface swirled and swooped, trapping the ancient wisdom of the tree in its grains like some strange language unknown to man. I peered at the wobbling rings and knots in the timber as if the answers to my questions were right there before my eyes, but kept forever out of reach, because I could simply not unlock the mystery of the primeval script. Slowly my consciousness wandered to a memory, a small campfire with another swirling pattern that reminded me of the wood grain. I was sitting with a friend in front of a hearty fire, spitting and flinging its blazing tongues towards the constellation speckled heavens. Our conversation drifted easily on the cool night air as it slowly shifted to the topic of education and school. I distinctly remember asking my friend what his definition of education was and what he thought the point of education really was. He rested there quietly for a few moments he rested there quietly for a few moments before sharing a view I had heard several times already. He guessed that the point of education in school was to prepare kids for a career in life in the future. Returning from the memory, I reflected upon the seemingly popular view of education. Unable to even count how many times this view had been impressed upon me, I thought, this view seems wrong and flawed. It feels really shallow, like the whole point of going to school is so that I have a successful job one day. Yes, I guess the thing currently being taught in schools are necessary so that people may one day support themselves and their families, and having a goal of creating a successful career is great, but it seems to be missing the bigger picture of what education is. But then, what is the point of education if not to chase after the American dream? Right after this thought had spread through my mind, sped through my mind, not spread. Although it could have spread through my mind. Out of the recesses of my memory floated the lyrics of a song by the rapper. Songs by the rapper Shobaraka. We ain't building jobs to build schools to build wisdom, but instead we building debt so they build more prisons. Then it came all crashing in, like someone flipped a switch or turned on a light, illuminating all the solutions to my mental quandaries. The point of education, contrary to Western pop culture, isn't simply to learn facts so that a person might have a successful career one day. But the point of education is to equip the person with the tools and skills to understand the world around them, with a basis for objective truth, to teach how effectively use their to teach how to effectively use their understanding of the world to change it, and thereby making it a better place, and to live a good moral life in wisdom and not in subjective foolishness. Stunned by this knowledge, I started to better grasp why kids hate school. No wonder kids despise school, because to them it's completely pointless. Kids are just being provided with a bunch of facts, important though they are, but students are without the ability to understand the world and how those facts fit into the world. They also aren't learning the wisdom of how to actually live a moral life, fulfilling life in light of their understanding of the world. So in the end, they're simply wafting through their time on Earth, never really understanding the reality that they live in, or how to live their life wisely in a rewarding manner. Weighed down by this revelation, I lifted my head once more to gaze intently at the strangers surrounding me. Moving from face to face, each one different, each one engaged in work or conversation, I wondered how many of them have been taught how to objectively understand the world that we all live in. How many of them have been taught the wisdom of life? Does the young man resting at the side table with his earbuds crammed into his skull, clacking away on his computer, understand why all the dictators fall, or why our culture is slowly declining? Or how about that aged woman sitting in the sun? Has she ever been taught the values of hard work and perseverance in relationship? Looking at my surroundings in the new light of this revelation, I reflected one last thought. How can I change this? What will it take to bring back the true meaning and point of education, and how much am I willing to sacrifice to see it done? That remains to be seen. Boom. Okay, that took me like 50 tries to get through this entire thing, so you're welcome. I'll see you later.